When you're studying English alone, how should you do it? This is a really important question that I think everybody should be thinking about because if you can study successfully, you win. You become bilingual and you're able to understand English and you're able to make friends and you can maybe even go get a job. Maybe your dream is to watch a movie without subtitles. I don't know what your dream with English is, but we can all agree that we're just trying to be bilingual here, right? So I assume you're not at the level where you're really confident in yourself yet. Maybe you haven't had many conversations with actual people yet. I don't know. I'm just going to assume yes, okay, that you haven't had a lot of conversations in English yet. So I'm going to help you out, all right? Listen up. You got to basically, by yourself, focus. I have a little diagram here just in case anybody ever gets distracted or they forget what to do, right? But if your goal is to become bilingual, do this one thing every day if you can. But hey, again, this is how to practice by yourself. Get a camera and then basically set it up and then basically hit record and then basically just talk. And then talk as long as you can in English. For me, it's pretty easy, not gonna lie. In fact, I'm probably talking a little bit slow just because I wanna make sure that everybody's on the same page here. And I don't wanna talk too fast because, it can get really exciting really quick if you were to think on the level that I think about. But because seriously, no, I'm trying to make the best video I can possibly make for you. So, and you are somebody that doesn't want to go down too far down the rabbit hole, if you know what I mean. So, basically, just make a video of you by yourself, okay? That's the best thing you can do. You set up the camera and you just talk, all right? And you talk as long as you can. It's been, 2 minutes already? Can you even hold a conversation for 2 or 3 minutes? And if you can't, then you got a problem. There's a lot that you could be studying, right? So one of those things that it's okay, honestly, I can't talk in English. I can't speak in English longer than 3 minutes, right? Okay. Then let's cut the experiment short and let's back up, okay? I got a little diagram here. Go back to here, okay? Go back to just listening to thousands of different things, all right? And if you could just do that, well, then you're gonna be fine because as you listen to more and more conversation, right, you're going to get more used to the sounds. You're going to get used to the rhythm. You're going to get used to the intonation. A lot of people are going to be having the same kind of conversations over and over again when you start meeting people. Hey, what's your name? Where you from? Typical questions that you've already learned to answer, right? So if you don't feel confident enough to actually have a conversation, this is why you're studying alone, right? Then again, just make a video. Talk as long as you can. Now, if you can't do that, if you're at 2 minutes, 5 minutes, you're already getting tired, right? Then go back to step number 1, which is just listen and just listen to a lot of different people. So as you listen to me, hopefully this is one input for you, one thing that you listen to. Do you catch my drift? Hopefully I'm not the only thing that you listen to, but if you do listen to me, I really do appreciate it. Again, I just want you to be bilingual, and I want you to be bilingual sooner than you think you could have if you didn't think differently. Does this make sense? A lot of times, and I don't know if you've seen my other videos or not, but I really do passionately believe in the power of accent. And this was the one thing that I learned when I learned Japanese. This was when I spoke with an accent, people softened, people became friendly, people smiled, people laughed. People laughed when I spoke with a Japanese accent, the Kansai accent, right? And I knew that was the right thing to do. Because if you can make people laugh, then you're doing all right. So I was able to communicate, and I kind of just focused on developing my Japanese accent as best as I could. So as you guys are learning English, right? I'm telling you, everything I'm saying is gold. You gotta focus on your accent. And you have the choice to, speak like a Japanese person, or you got the choice to speak more like a Californian like me, right? Like, go ahead, just choose, right? It's literally your choice. If you want to speak like a Japanese person and there is no shame, then do it. And like, seriously, I'm not insulting anybody when I make my videos at all in this video either. These are just accents that we choose, and we can choose any accent we want. What they teach you in school is so general and indistinct that it's really hard to have a conversation about what they're teaching in schools, because I don't know, what are they teaching in schools? Do you speak English yet or not? Are you bilingual yet or not, right? And so a lot of people in Japan are really not bilingual. I know this because I've talked to a lot of people. I can't have conversations longer than 8 minutes, in Japan. And this is proof of it. Like, anybody that's watching this far into the video, I swear you're the minority. You understand what I'm saying? That the majority of people can't understand this video without subtitles. And that, to me, is fascinating, honestly. Now, honestly, as I've been traveling the world, I've had a few different experiences. And one was watching TV at home. I just turn up the speakers really loud because I'm home, and I just like watch the movie, like at full force, and like I enjoy the show. I don't need no subtitles, you know what I'm saying? I hear everything clearly. So when I was like, I think I was like in Thailand or something like that, or Vietnam or Thailand. Oh, Vietnam was interesting too. The subtitles were coming out like in Vietnamese, right? But basically, I was like keeping the TV quiet. And then I realized the need, it was Mexico City. I realized the need to like, I got to keep quiet, right? So I'm like watching something without actually listening. So this is why I'm kind of doing the podcast, and I'm saying it over here, and I'm not going to say it in my YouTube videos, because in my YouTube videos, I'm like trying to get the attention of as many people as possible. Like, hey, yo, you trying to learn English? Listen to what I got to say. Because I think what I got to say is pretty valuable, in the sense that, like, if you want to become bilingual in 10 months, just do what I did. It's not that complicated. But again, I digress, because, hey, you like going to school, you like sitting around listening to lessons and stuff like that, like, go ahead. But like, once you're bilingual, your mind, I get kind of excited when I think about this, because like, you have access to all information. I mean, come on, like, the internet is literally a library of all information that we know as humans. And you have access to all of it. You just got to reach out and like interact with it, read it, listen to it, right? You can know anything that you want to know. And one of the mysteries of life is definitely not how do you become bilingual. That's not a mystery. That's not a mystery at all. If you literally listen to like 1,000 people, talk to 10 people on a regular basis, and be yourself all day long, you're gonna become bilingual, okay? Like, there is no mystery. And I say 10 months because that's just what it was for me and my experience. But to be honest, like, I remember coming back from summer vacation, and this is when I was an exchange student in Japan, right? I don't know how much the backstory you guys know about me, but I came back from summer vacation, and I was like, oh, as we're getting ready for the Cultural Day Festival or whatever. And again, remember, I'm trying to speak as much English as possible because I don't want to be using Japanese, because you got to flip that switch, right? Anyway, so I got back from summer vacation, and I was like, oh, I speak Japanese. I just felt it. It was weird because, like, I was listening to people talk in the classroom. I remember the day because we were kind of like making, or one of the classrooms was making a big paper mache Totoro. And Totoro was one of the things that I saw in high school where I was like, oh, whoa, what is this Japan animation thing? This was like, whoa, this was like next level. I'm not a big anime fan, guys. Like, let's just be honest. I'm like normal, you know what I mean? Like, I've seen now Ghibli do, like Nausicaa and stuff like that. So I've seen like the major anime, right? So I would call it normal. I'm not like an anime nerd at all. Like, I haven't seen like Clash of the Titans or whatever, or anything like One Piece. I have not seen or read anything One Piece. So, you know, like, I'm not like a total anime manga nerd at all. So with all of that said, I saw Totoro when I was in high school, right? And so this is in high school, and I was just kind of like blown away. That was pretty cool. And so when I lived in the countryside, right? And I'm like watching Totoro in the countryside. It's just kind of like, oh, wow. There's a certain little magic out here. I get it. Like, it was weird. It was like a weird thing that you can only experience if you've like lived in Japan, you know? So there is a value in actually going to places where everybody speaks English, you know what I mean? So as you're sitting there, you know, clutching your phone or watching TV or whatever, listening on your earphones, hopefully, because this is, you know, this is a kind of an English lesson, right? You gotta eventually, not only you gotta talk to people, but like, one, you could be anywhere and listen to 1,000 hours of like genuine English, right? You could be listening to English radio all day long. You could be watching YouTube all day long in Japan. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you don't need it. Like on TV, you could be watching like HBO. I'm sure you can if you really wanted to. You get like a VPN or something like that. And you can just stream American TV shows and movies and music. And you can literally be listening to English all day long if that's what you want to do. But to talk to 10 people, you don't have to be in America or California to do that. You can do that in Japan as well. Most likely you do it in a bigger city as opposed to a smaller city. But even if you're in like a smaller city, such as like Miyazaki or something like that, right? You can reach out on the internet and have conversations with people on the internet by like literally having conversations, you know, like Zoom or something like that, right? So there are basically no excuses why you can't be talking to people, like number 10 there. And guys, look, if I lived in Japan right now, I don't. Right now I'm in California. I would open up my office, if you know what I mean, and I would invite you guys to come in. I mean, if I'm able to live in Japan, which I don't know right now, honestly, kind of segueing all these stories into one story, if I could, I would open up my office to you guys and invite you to come in because, you know, what are you going to do anyway, right? What is the purpose of life? And the purpose of life for me is helping you guys. I don't see any other purpose for me, and I remember when I was living in California, and this is 5 years ago, and I left Japan, and I was in California working on, building my online teaching channel. And I was just thinking of everything, and I was really confused because, so many people were successful in teaching English. I was like, oh my God, but they don't even teach like the real thing, shouryaku pattern. Oh my God, I spoke in Japanese. Sorry. That was a total no good. Everybody should just, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I spoke Japanese. That was definitely code switching, guys. You shouldn't do that. My apologies to everybody that listens. I shouldn't have done that. But you know what I'm saying? That basically a lot of the textbooks don't teach the California accent, basically, and they're just teaching textbook English, right? So that's why I developed my California accent course. Was that oh my God, what my course, if you were to listen to my course in junior high school, you're going to be so far ahead of everybody else in your class. It's so mind-blowing that what I teach is basic English, basically, but just from the other direction. I teach it assuming you're a Californian. You know what I mean? Do you get the difference? Anyway, because I could go down the rabbit hole on that conversation. But basically, I was working to develop, how am I going to get you guys to hear this? Because I really think that what I have to say, and I really think that what I have to say is worthy of being heard by billions of people. If you're trying to learn a second language, all you got to do is mimic 10 real people that you've met in reality or have seen a reflection of that reality. You know what I mean? At this point, the internet and AI and image generation and stuff like that, content generation, I would like to happily say that I am not a chatbot. But if this does become a chatbot one day, don't blame me. Oh my God. Because you can only say the same thing so many times, right? It's not the road to bilingualism, the road to becoming bilingual, the path to becoming bilingual is not complicated, nor does it take more than a year if you just do it correctly. And this is basically my mission, is to say this over and over again until you get it. And I provide lots of tools for you in order to get there faster, right? And that's why I have my app. If you want to download my app, you could go down to the description and do that, because the whole color system thing I think is genius, and I think that you should know it as well. And I kind of want to make more videos that explain the color system, if you know what I mean, because I really want to take it from I got you from the beginning to all the way to the advanced stuff like we're doing right now. So if anybody has any doubt why you're here, remember, it's to become bilingual. And if you have not become bilingual yet, then please listen up. Subscribe to this channel, if you're hearing what I'm saying right now, and download my app. That's it. Like this video. If you can do those 3 things, oh wow, that's just that, I think in terms of 3s a lot, as you'll understand if you hear my content, and we can get into the reasons why I use 3s so much. But basically, it becomes it's much more sticky to the brain, because the brain tends to forget things that it's learned unless it's done over and over again through repetition until it just becomes unconscious. We can talk about the 4 stages of learning in another video as well. But basically, I just, as I was talking to you, thought of a good idea. So all I expect from you is a like, okay, a subscribe, and then a download. That's it. Because it's a free download, right? And it's about everything that I talk about in my videos anyway, right? And basically, there is like also with it, there's like a 21-day challenge email that I'll send you where I'm like, hey guys, if you really want to be bilingual, like you got to do this every day. Look, if you want to like become bilingual and you need like a coach or you need some help or you need somebody to listen to believe in, right? At any time, just download my app and like seriously, I got you from like beginning to advanced stuff, right? The app starts with all the basics. I mean, like the basics, and then we take it up a notch and we get into the California accent, right? Of course, like the grand graduation day is when you're having conversations with people, right? And you kind of feel normal and sophisticated even, that you learn using such complex vocabulary and grammar. I mean, people are always like, wow, you speak Japanese, it must be so complex. I'm like, well, no. I mean, it's just like backwards. Once you get it, it kind of like sticks, you know what I mean? And you only get it when you like practice it, right? So like, seriously, if you really, this is my expectations from you. Look, all I expect is like a like, a subscribe, and a download. That's it. A like, a subscribe, and a download. If you can do one of those things, like watching my video, this one, or any of my videos, just seriously, what's it to you to like my video or to subscribe, right? And if you're really serious, like a free download of an app, come on. It's like, what better offer could I possibly give to anybody on the planet? You know, anybody. Like there could be like 1 million people on the internet right now, and they could all download my app today. And the lessons will take them through the basics and then the mid-level stuff when these patterns are California English, right? I think that's pretty fucking amazing, pardon my French. But it's a dream worth striving for, in my opinion, because like I think it would be totally cool if, you know, more people were bilingual, right? And, you're just teaching that American English because you think America is number one. It's like, wow, thanks for putting words in my mouth, Mr. Commenter. But no, first of all, I speak Californian. And like, do I think it's like the best? Well, like, let's talk about this because I think it's cool, not gonna lie. But I also think British English is cool too. That's my opinion. What do you think, right? I do know that by teaching California English, you will be understood because of Hollywood. TVs and movies have like traveled all around the world, right? And so most of the people that are bilingual in English are very familiar with an American accent. It's very simple. So it has great benefit to learn California English, you know what I mean? So anyway, like seriously, and then like, I could go on and on about like all the different competitors, right? Stay hydrated, by the way, guys. This is kind of like a conversation. And in this conversation, you're allowed to take a breath, right? Breathe some water, because we're in this for the long haul. Like, it's almost like a marathon. I should probably call my podcast series the Bilingual Wake Up Marathon instead of like a podcast, because it's like, it's in the podcast section, so you know it's a podcast. And you're like, a marathon? What's a marathon? It's like, well, listen how long this freaking video is, and you'll get it. That if you're gonna flip the switch, and I'm gonna say these things over and over again because I really wanna reinforce the learning process here. But all you gotta do is flip a switch, right? Here it is. So I'll pull up. I keep pulling up the same diagram to explain everything that I'm saying. But basically, you flip the switch, right? You see there's like one direction. You see like there's like a V, right? But you flip the switch, right? You see? Boy, it's literally all in one diagram, but you flip the switch, right? And now you do nothing but speak English. That's it. Like, it's like Shazam. Like, Shazam, you speak English. Congratulations. And now just stay here in English as long as you can. and you gotta match this level of accent. You know what I mean? So the game would be similar if I go to like England, right? And I go to England and they're like, "Hello, mate, what you doing?" And I'm like, "Well, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just, queuing, looking for a cup of coffee." And, if my accent is annoying you, I'll just go back to my other one. You know what I mean? Because I can't tell if my accent is British or not British, because I haven't really had a lot of conversations with British people. I've met a few, not gonna lie. I've met a man from Birmingham. Because, I just lied because, they say Birmingham in Birmingham, right? So come on, give me a pint. I think I'm worth my fish and chips. It's not the best. It's not even second. Hell, it ain't even third, isn't it? This could be like the 100th best British accent you've ever heard, But, to you, I mean, you're Japanese, right? You don't know the difference, or do you? That's the point. And that's the entire point of why I do my videos is that, that if I was to go to England, I would just flip the switch. And there's like a crazy feeling to it because it's like, well, I like Harry Potter. I've watched, Dragon Slayer. That sounds fun. But, gonna really pull it off. I don't know. It would be like I'm playing a character all day long, right? So that is like one of the secrets about becoming bilingual is that you basically do have to develop a character in the second language. But that character is where you get confused because you're not just yourself, you know what I mean? Like you are a reflection of all that you've ever experienced, Like, come on. Like, what have you done that's like original? Think about it. Because even like, oh, I've made like an app, right? Yeah, but so have like 10,000 other people. Who knows how many people have made apps, right? And you look at like, okay, well, the guy who made the iPhone, that's pretty genius, not gonna lie. Some fifth dimensional alien technology shit here, you know what I mean? But like, hey, it is what it is. So like, and by the way, I don't know if it's fifth dimensional alien technology shit or not. I just like heard rumors. So like, hey, let's take that with a grain of salt, all right? Like not everything I say is exactly 100% going to be true, but for what I'm saying in terms of learning a second language, I'm 100% on point. But the whole phone being alien technology, who knows? But I do believe that you need to use your phone a little better than you're doing right now. But again, with this phone, you have access to thousands of different people saying thousands of different things. That's beautiful. That's wonderful. Congratulations, right? But really what you need to do is talk to 10 people. And if you can't talk to 10 people and you're studying by yourself, well, like I said, get out a camera and start talking to yourself. Set it up on a tripod. And we've just hit 30 minutes, guys. Can you speak English for 30 minutes? Anyway, thanks so much for hanging out. It was a blast. It was cool. And I really hope that you learned something. But we literally need to finish this conversation right now because I think I've said enough. You know what to do. Like if you don't know what to do, set up your camera, hit record, and just start talking in English as long as possible about anything that you want to say. Just be you. All right, guys? Take it easy. Have a good one. Peace out. And maybe I'll make another video very soon. In the meantime, bye-bye. Peace.